The handout that I'm going to go over first has Vata, Pitta, and Kapha at the top of the page. Okay, this is from the book Ayurveda, The Science of Self-Healing. This is Dr. Vasant Lad, my teacher's first book, and it's a really great introduction to Ayurveda if you're looking just for an intro book, and we do have some for sale here in booth 824, but they're also readily available at pretty much any bookstore. Okay? So, Vata, I'm just going to give you a brief nutshell of each of these doshas. They're called doshas. Dosha is just a basket of qualities, if you will, psychophysical elements. The word dosha in Sanskrit technically means fault. So basically, when somebody has a lot of one dosha, it means they have a tendency for that to go out of balance. Okay, so Vata is space and air. You see that little diagram at the top, space and air, and there's a little swirling. So Vata is a combination of space and air. So what Ayurveda has done is taken the 5 elements of space, air, fire, water, and earth, combined them into 3 doshas. And over thousands of years with, hundreds of thousands of people, they realized that certain people have certain symptoms. They all go together. They tend to have the same types of problems. So in Western medicine today, we're beginning to see how people, the thought process is changing, and the Western system is also starting to recognize differences in people with the blood type diet and things like that. So this is similar in the sense that Ayurveda has said, everybody's unique. You have to treat the person individually. What one person needs is not what the other person needs. Vata person needs a lot more water. A Kapha person hardly needs any water, for instance, okay? So Vata is space and air. The qualities of Vata are at the bottom. So like I said, air is very dry. Dry, so people with a lot of Vata tend to have dry joints. They have a lot of air in their joints, so they'll tend to crack and pop. In their stools, they'll have dryness, so they'll tend to be constipated. They tend to have dry hair, dry nails, they're brittle, dry skin. So they just have more dry quality than someone else. For this reason, they need a lot more water than another constitution. Now keep in mind, again, everybody has all of these. Just 1 or 2 dominate in a person, giving them their mind-body type. So the next quality of Vata is light. Air and space is very light. So they're very light in physical matter. They're very thin. They don't have a lot of body mass. So they tend to be very thin. They have a light quality in their mind. Because space is the field of all possibilities and thought and inspiration, so they're very imaginative. They're very creative. And so they're great thinkers and inventors. However, that light quality can get out of balance and they can have trouble sleeping at night. So they have a tendency towards insomnia. Cold. They have a tendency to walk into a room and feel cold more than hot. Their hands and feet tend to be cold. They have a cold quality circulating in their blood. Their extremities tend to get cold. Subtle. Space is very subtle. Air is very subtle. They have a very subtle sense of intuition, a subtle sense of touch. So they have a really great subtle ability inside of them. Rough. When air starts to move really fast, it gets rough. It roughens away at the tissues of things. It roughens away at the surfaces. It creates degenerative arthritis, rough skin, etc. Even eczema, can be Vata condition. It's usually both Vata and Pitta. And then moving, of course, air, it's nature to move. So they love to change. They love travel. They tend to love to do, 2 or 3 things at once. And then clear. Space is very clear. So they're so clear, in fact, that they'll pick up new things really easily and then they'll forget them right away because they have that